Good afternoon. We are about to take a little run out in the Alfa Romeo 4C. Now, before I can actually get this thing started and get us on the route, we have to first, of course, wait for the gearbox to warm up because the air temperature is below 14 degrees C. It's not very warm, and being a typical Italian car, we have a 2-minute wait while it warms up and allows me to engage the gearbox. So I can't believe that this is the first time I've driven this Alfa Romeo to any reasonable distance this year, and it's been almost 6 months since I did last drive it out and take it for a good run. I just can't believe how long it's been. The last time I took it anywhere was when I took it to be serviced back in September of last year. So finally the weather's just starting to pick up. We're starting to get to a point where it's getting nice again, sort of. It's still quite cold, but the roads are dry, the sun's sort of out. It's out, then it's back in, and it's back out, but it's a bit cloudy, but hey ho. I thought at last I've got a chance to take the car out for a bit of a run. So where are we actually going? Well, I'm taking the little Alfa Romeo out for a bit of a run to go to a specialist dealer because I'm going to look at a Ferrari 360. Now, before you get too excited or carried away with all this, I am not going with a view to buying one. I'm actually going with a view to measuring it. I've got a tape measure in my pocket and I'm really keen to find out if the actual measurements of that car in terms of the width of it are what they say they are on the spec sheets, because this Alfa 4C is a wide car. It's renowned for it.
I'd like to be driving something narrower now, like a bus.
And the only way I can fit this car in my single garage is to fold the wing mirrors in and very, very carefully drive it in. It's a really challenging thing getting this car in. And if the wing mirrors were left out on this car, I couldn't actually fit it in my garage at all. Now, I know this is a wide car, but I did talk to a guy who's got a Ferrari 360, and he told me that he literally had to have his garage doors taken off and a new door put on just to make it wide enough to get the 360 in. So I'm quite keen to find out whether or not the 360 will actually fit the width of my garage door. So I've got the tape measure in my pocket and I've set the sat nav to the most scenic route to get there. So I've just had to pull over there and reprogram the sat nav to try and adjust the route that I'm taking, because it keeps putting me on literally dirt tracks, which are just absolutely horrendous. So great if you've got a Land Rover, not if you've got an Alfa 4C with virtually no suspension. So I'm hoping it's going to put me on some more easygoing roads that are going to be scenic but not as heavily potholed as the roads we've just been on. Okay, we're starting to get some good roads. When you get roads like this, the Alfa Romeo 4C really does come into its own. Ferrari just gone past there, very nice convertible, like a California. Now this is a really good hill for bikers. You do get to see a lot of biking people coming down here. It really does snake on the way down. You've got to be careful. Going into the bend now. If you're on a bike, you've really got to be on it on this hill. Woo! Drops down. Look at that view. Look at this. Look at that. There you go. What a view. Low bridge. Well, we've got a low car, so we should be all right. Okay, let's swing in and see if we can get some fuel. A thought did come to my mind about Greta Thunberg. Well, not so much Greta Thunberg, but what she stands for and what her movement is all about, which is, I might add, a very commendable and worthy cause. But I did think to myself, what would she say about this Alfa Romeo 4C, and what would she say or think of me for buying it? And I'm guessing that she's probably going to say that I'm a total and that anyone who buys this car is a total and the car itself is a total piece of that emits nothing but lethal emissions. But I would have something to say about that, because I did some research the other night and discovered that this Alfa Romeo 4C is the most efficient car that I could find in terms of CO2s, given its category of being able to go from 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. I really couldn't find anything that could go this fast with this lower CO2 emission level. The nearest thing I could find was the Porsche 718 Cayman 2-litre turbo, which comes almost as close on emissions and almost as close on performance, but not quite. And keep in mind that I drove this car all the way to Scotland and back again and averaged an MPG of over 41 to the gallon. You can take a look at the video I did last year to see evidence of that. And that's not bad, especially when you factor in that I wasn't exactly driving with efficiency in mind. So here we are then, and what is the best looking car in the car park? I think it's that one. So there it is. Yeah. Okay, right, it's 83 inches. So the mirror's in. It's just in line with the... Actually, that's wider there. So, would the Ferrari fit in my garage? Only just. You'd have to squeeze the wing mirrors in to get that car to fit in the garage, or in my garage. It's interesting because with the wing mirrors out on the Alfa and the wing mirrors out on the Ferrari, there's pretty well no difference. They're as equally as wide as each other, but the Alfa's body is much slimmer, so once the wing mirrors are in on this, it's much easier to get into the garage. But I think with the Ferrari, you're probably looking at about 20 to 30 millimeters each side, I reckon, just about. It would be a really tight squeeze. So there you go. Good excuse not to buy one then, and a good excuse to stick with the Alfa Romeo, and an even better excuse now to drive home and enjoy the drive. Looks like on the way home we found my favourite bit of road. Might as well make the most of it. Okay, we're currently in Sport Dynamic manual box. Best way to drive it. Woo-hoo. Okay, you can change down. So we're running in manual on dynamic. Absolutely the way to drive it. I'm going to wind the windows up. Though I do prefer it with the windows down, but I think it'll affect the sound. Okay, down. Oh yeah. Woo, woo, woo. This really is my favourite bit of road. And it's so good to get it when there's nothing there, nothing on the road. We're down for another bend. Down again. Absolutely brilliant. Well, that was good fun. That was good fun.